Hey, what's up, guys? So we got some rice here today, and apparently you're supposed to wash your rice grains in a separate bowl before you put them in your rice cooker. So I'm washing my rice in a stainless steel bowl that I have here, and just polishing the grains before I put them into my little rice cooker. This is like the tiniest rice cooker you will ever find, but I want to say my family got it a long time ago, and then it just never got used. So when I moved out, I took it with me, and it's actually the perfect amount of rice considering that we don't eat a ton of rice, and I don't want to eat too much grains usually, so it's just enough, honestly, for like 2 people. If you eat a lot of rice, maybe not, but we'll go ahead and put the rice in there, and then get some water here. I have a filtered container of water that I fill up using my system in the back that you can probably see, but for rice we do a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of rice to 1 cup of water, and just a splash more because that's what I was taught. So getting the grains off the edge, there it is. And we'll go ahead and pop that on the rice cooker and put the lid on for that. I want to say my rice cooker takes about like 15 minutes to actually cook, so I usually like to do that first. And depending on if I'm doing brown rice too, I'll actually soak that. But I have a little bit of lettuce here of this green leaf. There's a few wilted leaves, so I'm gonna throw those away. But I'm enjoying this lettuce. It's kind of got a little bit of texture. It looks pretty. Honestly, I'll be honest, it looks pretty. That's kind of really why I picked it out. I'm tired of doing the whole romaine or iceberg crap, and yeah, I think it's just a good lettuce, and it was kind of on sale, so we're gonna rip off some of the leaves here. Like I said last time, this tends to be kind of a really sandy head, so I'm gonna have to give it a good wash. But taking off all the leaves, making sure there's no bugs to begin with, because sometimes you'll find worms. I went out to eat one time and I found a worm crawling around in my salad, and I tried not to make a big deal out of it, but yeah, it happens. But give it a good wash, soak, and as soon as you rinse it, oh, who's that? My janitor's watching me. Okay, so after you wash it off, I got my leaves here. I actually have a salad spinner. I've had this one forever, and these things are awesome. So you go ahead and put your leaves in there, and then through centrifugal force, I probably said that wrong. You spin it, it swings the water off whatever you have inside, and then you've got mostly, if not completely dry, produce, whatever you put in there. I've always used it for salad. I've seen people do it for like berries and stuff, which is actually really smart. But yeah, I love those things. Ever since I found them, it was amazing, because growing up we had a lot of salads at my grandparents' house, and for some reason there would always be like half a cup of water at the bottom of the bowl, and it drove me nuts because I didn't like a bunch of water on the bottom of my salad plate. So this was like one of my amazing things that I got when I was growing up, and I guess I just carried it with me forever. But we're gonna go ahead and get our lettuce. I thought I was gonna go and chop it with a knife, but then I looked at it and I said, this stuff is too pretty, and apparently I think it's better if you break it by hand. Something about the way that it breaks and the leaves oxidize. I don't know. I've heard so many things online, to be honest. Who knows what's real, but this is what we're doing today. And the reason why we're having a salad is because we don't have a ton of extra veggies that I would normally do with tonight's dinner, but this this'll do. I think it's enough. I'm trying to be a little bit more balanced with our meals and what we eat, but my car's in the shop, so I'm kind of stuck with whatever I have in the fridge already, and that's fine. That's cool, but makes it a little bit more tricky to make things. So we'll see what else happens and what else I come up with. I have like a couple frozen things and whatnot. We'll probably get creative with those. Lots of leftover type of meals. But anyways, we got to give our janitor his his taxes. Something about the way he eats lettuce just makes me so happy. He's always had his little bits and pieces, so we'll see here. Here he comes again. It's just a happy little crunch. That's like my little joy in the day, is feeding this dog veggies and fruits and stuff. Can't give him grapes, but he loves lettuce. He loves a good salad. So, anyways, back to actually cooking. We could also put a couple other things that I have already for the salad. I got a carrot and I peeled it really quickly into the trash. You didn't see that just because I realized I was completely out of the frame, so it looked weird. But I have a carrot, it's peeled, and I think I'm actually going to shave it into the salad because I noticed that if I shave it into the salad, it's more like a little leaf. And when my best friend eats his salad, he doesn't leave a bunch of carrots at the bottom because he just stabs it with his fork and just eats it with the rest of the leaves. So we're gonna use our little peeler here and just shave it in. And I think it looks pretty. I don't know. I'm a home cook. I like things to look pretty, and growing up, I had books of like how to plate your how to plate your meal and how to make stuff look nice, and a book about manners and tableware and stuff. I mean, I grew up in the sticks though, so it was totally not anything that I would ever use when I was little, but I loved it and I thought it was so cool and like so special. So now that I can make my own decisions and choices, I like to do stuff like this, right? Like, why not? It could be boring. I could just like hack this thing up and be like, have at it, but whatever. We're gonna wrap this up though, the carrot, because I'll save the leftovers. I've got this really sad green onion that we just washed off, and we'll chop off all the bits that are kind of not as pretty anymore. I normally put like a red onion, but I know that Mix loves green onions, and I do too actually, and it totally makes sense because I have more of a Asian ginger style dressing that I'm gonna put on this, and it just kind of goes with everything. But being careful not to cut my nails with the knife. Trying my best to do the little claw thing so that I don't accidentally cut myself. You want to know something crazy is that I've cut myself on cardboard and plastic and everything else. Usually I'm just extremely careful when it comes to my knives, just because I try to keep them sharp and try to be careful not to get my fingers. But yeah, so we'll put some green onions on the salad. So we have green leaf, shaved carrots, and now some green onion. And then I have these pieces from this tomato that I used for Mix's BLT that I saved and kept back because I knew I wanted to put them on the salad, and it's just a little bit of tomato. In all honesty, I don't really like tomatoes, and I don't think he does either. But I know that they're good for you, and I know that like in a dish or something, and when they're cooked, they're supposed to be really good and they add a lot of flavor, and I know that for sure. But just straight up raw, tomato is not. I I don't like it. So that's why it's like the tiniest amount, and I'm dicing them up as realistic. Like, it'll be a good pretty size, but it's not the star of the salad by any means, and I just know it's good for me, so I try to put it in. I'm trying to be better about it, and it looks pretty. Look at that red. It's got green, orange, and now red, and I think it looks good. It's appealing because you eat with your eyes first. So we're gonna pop those into the fridge for now, and then after I look around, I find my little steaks that I pulled out at the grocery store that we go to. There's these frozen ahi steaks, which is tuna, and they're this perfect little portion. Like, look at that. That's a perfect little portion. So they were $1.40, and we got those. So $1.40 each. Not too bad. Just took them out to defrost them, left them in the fridge overnight, and let them defrost. And kind of just dabbing off some of that excess water that was on them. I've done like a seared thing, which I'll probably show you another day, but for today we're gonna cook them just because one of the steaks had kind of, I don't know what it's called in English, but I've always known it as suji, which it's like a tendon. It's just not very pleasant to eat. Like, if you've ever had sashimi or sushi and there's like a string going through it, that's basically what it is. It's just like part of the muscle tissue stuff that connects it, connective tissue maybe. But anyway, so we're getting out all our stuff for frying. I just pulled out some cornstarch and panko breadcrumbs. Gotta get some bowls. Oh, and I have an egg. It's the cutest little egg, but it's my egg. Oh yeah, and some chopsticks, hashi. So for this, I need to put panko in the large bowl, and I'm struggling with my nails because they're way too long, and I'll have to fix that later. But sniff check. It's not rancid. We're good. I like to check my breadcrumbs just because you never know. Sometimes they could go bad. But some breadcrumbs in a bowl. See? From Winco. And then some cornstarch. I don't exactly understand the science behind it, but I've always been told that you put cornstarch in your breadcrumbs to make it more crispy. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I've always done. I just kind of put like a spoonful in it just to coat the breadcrumbs themselves. And then they're kind of powdery looking breadcrumbs. See, isn't that pretty? They're all fluffy and ready to be dipped. Gotta make sure there's not just like a clump of cornstarch though. So got those. Cornstarch is ready. Breadcrumbs is ready, and then our egg, which we'll crack in here. I like to make sure everything else is ready before I start cooking, simply because this frying process kind of goes fast, and if you can set it up, and if you can set up like a little assembly line, oh yeah, my eggs are all mixed up, and now we gotta cut our fish. But if you can set it up as like a cute little assembly line, it gets a lot less chaotic, I'll say, because it's been chaotic sometimes. We'll turn on our light, and I have this huge little splatter screen thingy. It's just foil. like an aluminum foil thing. It's just to protect the rest of your kitchen from the oil splatters. I don't know if I really needed it today, but I had it and I thought if I'm not using it while I'm frying fish, what am I even doing with my life? But I think this one came from Daiso. Kind of trying to plan out my cuts though, because, oh, here's the one, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got those white lines through it, and you'll see it better in the cut, when I start cutting closer to the edge of it, but trying to just get somewhat even thickness of cuts. I'm going probably like a 1/2 inch on this, just because I want it to be like a hearty bite, right, but not too thin, because I think if you do it too thin, it kind of falls apart. And yeah, so you can see a little bit of that right there, the suji. I have to look up what that is in English. That's just what I was told. But look at this piece. This piece was beautiful. Oh, this is a piece that I would totally just sear and like put a little bit of ponzu on it with some green onions and so good. This one was so smooth, like looked like a block of jello. Look how pretty that is. That's gorgeous. But we're frying it all tonight because that's a portion, and there's 2 of us, so yeah. Totally enjoying this. I probably need to sharpen my knife, but that's okay. Kind of wipe up some of that, place the fish on the side again, and just eyeballing it right here. Those few pieces are kind of a little bit longer than the rest, and I want them to be somewhat uniform, so we're gonna end up trimming these down and just kind of making them short pieces, so they're essentially like a 2-bite little fish fried thingy pieces. But yeah, and see that little spot, just we'll put the cutting board away and get ready to fry. When you're frying, you do want to have your plate where you're going to put stuff ready because it goes kind of fast. So plate, paper towel on it, and checking my pan because it's already been preheating. And since I'm doing a stainless steel pan, I got to make sure it's really screaming hot before anything else. But I turned down the heat on this, and we're going to put in some avocado oil, which is like a higher heat oil. We used to do canola oil, but kind of moving away from that. And then we used to, oh my goodness, coconut oil. If you can fry your fish in coconut oil, that stuff is so good. It's like, you know how you have like coconut shrimp? That's basically what it tastes like. Oh my goodness, it's so freaking good. But get your fish, and then you egg wash it, and then you put it in your panko or your breadcrumbs, and you kind of just pack it in there and make sure that it's completely coated and kind of smush it in. And the better that you make it stick to the fish with the egg wash, the better that the batter will be coming out from it. So just using my hands here, and then you want to carefully lay it in your pan, and that's it. And thankfully I'm not sticking to my pan, so we're good. I'm just gonna continue the process of it. Frying fish like this is something that I learned growing up, and I got to help out with a little bit. And I don't know who did it first, if it was my mom or my grandma or... Gosh, I just looking back, I just remember us frying fish. I'm pretty sure everybody fries their fish like this. I don't know. Have I eaten fried ahi anywhere? I mean, in Hawaii it's pretty popular, I want to say. Like, it's common. Pretty sure people do it. I don't know. It's never something I saw on a menu. Everything is always like mahi, panko crusted with something or another, and you're like, oh, quite cool. But I don't really see ahi done. Oops. And this is where I realized my pan is way too hot because that one's a little bit on the dark side. It's not supposed to be that dark, but it's okay. Sometimes it happens. And that'll go on my plate. So it's okay. But yeah, if you're burning some of the breadcrumbs or they're getting a little bit extra, extra toasty looking, you gotta just turn down your heat. These stupid electric coils are so difficult, I swear. Yeah. And then you put it on your plate standing by. And that's it. Like, this is such an easy thing. I want to say I learned this when I was little. Because both sides of my family fried fish. Speaking of fried fish, so I didn't even talk about my weekend last time when I was making that BLT. I completely forgot. I was like, oh yeah, I'll tell you about that. And then I never told you about that. So this last weekend we went to a crazy, I want to say it's like a cocktail open house kind of party at this crazy mansion that had something that's like 8+ acres of land and like a 10,000 plus square foot house with like an orchard in the backyard, and it had its own lake and a waterfall and like 3 kitchens, because you need 3 kitchens, of course. Who doesn't need 3 kitchens? And I want to say something like 11 bathrooms. Maybe I'm making this up now, but it was insane. It was this multi-million-dollar property that we got to go see and just kind of walk around and just be in awe of how the other half of the world lives, I guess, or how that, people with lots of money live. Oh, and yeah, that just fell off, so we're gonna throw that away. But it was this crazy thing, but a lot of fun because it's been a while since I've gone to an event like that and just got to kind of enjoy myself more so than anything else. And got to dress up kind of nice and be all super cute and take some pictures and just enjoy ourselves that evening. I did refill my breadcrumbs just now. I don't know if you saw that. Oh, I'm kind of scraping off some of the egg bits on the tip. I did refill my breadcrumbs because they were getting a little bit on the low side, and I got kind of a bit of fish left to fry. So I'm going to speed up a little bit because I'm noticing that this is frying a lot faster, and I'm kind of taking my time. So rather than have a bunch of heat in the house, yeah, we'll try to fry this a little bit faster. Yeah, I gotta finish breadcrumbing. So, there's my janitor in the background. But, so yeah, we went out to this crazy house, and I had a lot of fun. I love getting dressed up. I love, I don't know, having a reason to get dressed up. Normally, at home, I'm just kind of just in whatever, like I am today, in just like a comfy outfit. But yeah, getting to do that was kind of cool. When you're frying, some of the breadcrumbs are going to come off, and just scrape them off to the side so that they don't start burning or smoking in your oil. And if you can keep the oil as clean as possible with as few of those dark breadcrumbs, then your fish comes out a lot better, even in frying. And then if you're running out of oil, you can just add a little bit more oil to the pan. It's kind of very forgiving, I want to say. It seems like, wow, look at this, but this is actually so simple and such an easy thing, and it tastes so freaking good. Who doesn't like fried fish? But so after we went to that event, they only served martinis, And I asked the guy, the bartender, can you make me a mocktail? And he made me a mocktail, so it was super sweet. But they had like martinis and little hors d'oeuvres and whatnot and stuff. I wasn't really in the mood to eat hors d'oeuvres because I'm just like, not tonight. But we went out to dinner after that. But it was the craziest experience because we went to a local place that we've been to before in like a nicer area. And I don't know, has anybody ever had this happen where you're sitting and they sit you down but nobody ever comes to help you besides like once the hostess sits you down, like she sat us down, she gave us menus and she got us water. And then that was it. That was the last person that we saw. We sat there for half an hour watching everybody else around us, you know, have servers come up to them and get food taken to their table. And it was just, I don't know, it's a crazy experience. It's the second time that I've had really bad service at a restaurant. Like, I don't know. And the last time I had bad service at a restaurant was another place, different place. But I was dressed kind of more casual. So in my head, I was like, oh, maybe it's because I'm like, you know, I look like a bum. Like I'm wearing comfy clothes. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. But I was like, okay, I am dressed up. My hair's done. You know, we are clearly out for an evening. So I just don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like it's getting more and more common that you get really, really bad service sometimes, and it's just, I don't know. As someone who doesn't go out a ton, it's disappointing. But we're getting down to our last few pieces of fish here, and that's kind of my story. So then after that we just kind of walked out because it was getting to the point where I was like, if we don't leave now, we're never going to get food. And I'm getting kind of starving. And we've been sitting here for over half an hour. And nobody's even asked us for a drink, you know, to order a drink. So let's just leave. So we just walked out and went across the street to another place. And I told the hostess, I was like, this happened at this other place. And I don't even get it. Like, do you guys have space? Can you seat us? We were so sorry. We're like, you know, later in the day, but like, and she was absolutely like, oh my God. And she's like, no, like, of course, you know, you can come. Like, what she can say no, but I mean, she was super sweet. And then our server, like, she must have told him about it, and he was just like, he was amazing. And we ended up kind of going all out there just because we're like starving and we just wanted to have a nice evening. So we ordered like, what was it, like popcorn shrimp for an appetizer, and then, which was funny, I think it was also panko fried. No, that one was tempura fried. And then I had the mahi, which was panko fried or crusted. I think they called it crusted. I don't know why they say crusted. Should I say this is crusted ahi in panko? It's just fried fish. It sounds better when you say crusted, I guess, right? I don't know. If you're down at the bottom of your pan right here and you don't have much oil but you don't add much more, just scrape all the bits out of it, and then you can pick up the pan and just tilt it and let the oil kind of pool on the other side, and that's usually more than enough to finish frying it. But and then we got pasta, and it's like, yeah, it was so good. So good, so nice, great service. I've never had somebody be that not crazy, but neglectful at a restaurant. Like, that's beyond me. But that was our kind of going all out, and this is us trying to cut back a little bit now and not spend a ton. Oh, look at my little janitor's coming through. He's checking the floor for any carrots that I might have spilled or any other crumbs. But yeah, see, there's not much oil left. but there's more than enough to fry it. And flip over that last piece. And see, if you just kind of tilt it like that, you have more than enough. Look at that. And then the heat, the residual heat from the stove and the pan for those last few pieces, you don't have to keep the fire on, so I like to turn it off. That's just what I was taught to do because there's no point for the last bits. But yeah, see? Ta-da! And then there's my little splatter guard that's kind of protecting the other half of the stove. But I don't think this really splattered that much oil because there's not much even on the stove looking at it. Got my manager janitor watching from the side, keeping an eye on me. But yeah, let me know, guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching me cook dinner. Let me know what kind of format is working. I can't always share the audio of what's going on because when the best friend is working, he's kind of talking. But sometimes, I don't know, I kind of like the little ASMR ambient noise of everything that's happening. So last piece of fish, beautiful fry. I think that's about done. And we have a wonderful full plate. That's amazing. Look at all that fish that we fried. Just don't look too closely at the ones that I kind of went a little bit over. Well done. But yeah. Okay, moving you back over here. Scoot our pan over. We'll turn off that fan. Let's put these away before I forget. And we have our fish ready. We made our salads. What are we gonna grab? Oh, we gotta get our rice too. So let's do the rice. And I need a pot holder, and I need my rice bowls, and I'm gonna use the nice ones because they're pretty. Go. So my kitchen is your standard apartment kitchen, and there's not a ton of space, so if it looks not as picturesque or nice as some kitchens, it's because it's the reality. This is really what I work out of every day. And I don't want to burn my hands, so we're gonna put the rice with the pot holder. Ta-da! And once you have your rice cooked, you need to fluff it, or mazeru. My mom always used to say, mazeru the rice, and I was like, what is mazeru? And I was just like, I understood what she was telling me to do, but I didn't understand what the translation was. I just kind of did it, and then I learned, oh, it means just to mix it. Okay, that makes sense. Got some beautiful fluffy rice. My super cute squirrel rice cooker. I love this rice cooker. I think I got it for free as some like promotional item with something else that I bought. But it stands up, and the tail is this paddle. So we kind of cutting back on rice, so not having too much rice is the goal. This one's for the best friend, and this one is for me. Oh, hot steaming rice is so good though. Like, I could probably just eat that pot of rice, but trying to cut back and all that jazz. So we'll just make it look pretty in the bowl and set it aside. And go put this back on the other side. And we'll end up using the rest of this rice later on. I think what I'm gonna do later is make it into like a fried rice. Just put it in the fridge and let it wait until the next day. Kind of planning out what dishes I want to use. I don't know if I want to serve it in a different dish or what, but I do have these super cute little plastic grass things, and looking at the fish now, I think I want a different plate. So we're actually going to swap out plates for the rounds to, I have these ones that I got at Daiso, that are super cute. I use them a lot, so these ones make me happy. They're kind of like a sushi platter thing, but oh well. They're perfect size for the fish, and I think they'll fit them perfectly, so I'm so proud of myself right now with my little green plastic leaf thingies that you usually find in, I want to say they're in sushi containers, right, usually, but I love these things. And I think I got these from Daiso too, now that I think about it. So are my rice bowls. My chalongs are from Daiso. And so are my chopsticks. I have a lot of stuff from Daiso, let's just be honest here. Alright, so most difficult part is plating it up. I think we'll go against the grass. Yeah, but then it's just going to slide and go wherever. So we'll pick out the nicest pieces, the largest, nicest pieces, and we'll put that on his plate versus on my plate, which is, I'm going to put the smaller pieces on my plate, but this is kind of the process. I really enjoy making it look good and pretty, because why not? It takes a little bit more effort, but not really. I mean, if I enjoy it more, why wouldn't I do it? But that's just me. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at my burnt one. Don't look at it, guys. It's a little bit crispy, but that's okay. Because if you flip it over on the other side wasn't as crispy, burning looking, so it's pretty good. And I think I'm gonna give that plate one more. So we got a lot of them. Put that paper towel in the pan, and that actually, I'm gonna use that to kind of soak up the rest of the oil, which is perfect because you don't want to put that down your sink. And we'll see my beautiful fish, and scoot the rice aside. Oh, there's a grain. We'll put it over there. And okay, here comes my epic fail in 3, 2, 1. Oh no! I totally just dumped it, but yeah, there's a fish. And I'm totally embarrassed, so I'm just gonna fix that. You didn't see it. It fell on the counter. 3-second rule. It's fine. Counter's clean. Yeah. He doesn't need to know. But we gotta grab our last thing, so we have our protein, our carb, and now we need our veg, which are the salads that we're chilling in the fridge. Look how pretty that is. All that color. And then gotta find our dressing, which I only have a little bit left. I'm gonna have to buy more of this. But it's this ginger dressing. It's got lots of ginger, and it's like big old chunky gingerness of it. Yeah. Look at that stuff. This stuff is so good. Oh, it smells so good. And we'll put that on top. And I think the combination of like the ginger dressing plus fried fish with shoyu on it, it just makes sense. I'm so sad there's not much left of this. We're just gonna use it all then. But it's this bottle right here. If you see it in the grocery store, it's It's one of my favorites. I think this is the honey one versus the other one. But here's a close-up of my fried fish at the end. Isn't it beautiful? Let's push my burnt one out of the way, but you can see the pretty one, crispy brown, fried. That's it. Rice, salad, fried ahi. I think he enjoyed it in the end. After he ate it, he seemed pretty happy, but obligatory selfie time, smile, cheese. Look at how good that is, right? It's cute. Anyways, guys, I will see you next time. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Later!